This section of notes continues by talking about end behavior of a polynomial. End behavior essentially just describes what happens on the edges of the graph and where your arrows are pointing. There's going to be 4 different types of end behavior: up, up, down, down, up, down, and down, up. And again, it's just how the arrows are in combination. Your end behavior is going to depend on whether the degree is odd or even, and whether your leading coefficient is positive or negative. So for this first type, you can see that both sides point up on either side of the polynomial. So we call this up, up end behavior. So you can kind of mark that with these arrows. This is a more formal way of defining our end behavior. We're going to stick with either the arrows or the words. And these correspond to these 2 different polynomials. We can see that our degrees here are 2 and 4. Those are the highest exponents. That's even degree. So we're going to say this is the even degree type. And our leading coefficients are both positive. So we're going to say positive leading coefficients. I'm going to turn the page, and again, if you did not copy or print off your own copy, your packet is missing this page. But if you want to pause here, print off the correct copy, and then come back, you'll then be able to follow along. Okay, second type. We can see here we've got down, down. We've got both of our arrows pointing down, so this is our down, down type. The degree is still both even. We see a parabola here, and then this is a quartic function, so it's got a degree 4. So it's still got an even degree. And then our leading coefficients here are both negative. So even negative is going to be flipped down. All right, next type, we've got arrows pointing down and then up. We're going to call this down, up end behavior. So down on the left, up on the right. If you look at your 2 degrees there, both of these actually happen to be 3, but this would be the case of any odd degree polynomial. So x to the 5th, x to the 7th, x to the 11th, x to the 9th, any of those would have this same type of end behavior, odd degree. When this leading coefficient is positive, you don't see a negative up front. So odd positive is going to be down and then up. Finally, up and then down is our last type, down. And we see that it's increasing on this side, is going up, and then towards the positive direction there, and then down on this side. We see odd degrees once again. And then we see a negative leading coefficient. So what you should hopefully notice are some patterns. If you want to pause the video and kind of just take into account any patterns you see as far as what is even, anything these 2 types have in common versus what is odd, anything along those lines. So some of the patterns I notice are that whenever it's got an even degree, your arrows are going to point in the same direction. If it's positive, they'll both go up. If it's negative, they'll both go down. And then when you have an odd degree, your arrows are going to point in opposite directions. Positive, your function will be increasing from left to right. Negative, your function will be decreasing. So at the bottom of the page, we're going to kind of create a summary. So in this box, for a positive leading coefficient, even degree, I'm going to put up, up, even degree, the arrows point the same way. When it's negative, I'm going to put down, down. Positive, odd, this is the one where it's increasing. So it would start pointing down and then go up. And odd, negative, they're going to go opposite directions. It's going to be up and then down. So I always think for the even ones, I think about an even function that I'm really familiar with, a parabola, which is based off of x squared. So your parabola is opening up if it's an even degree and it's positive, and flipped down, it'll be negative. And then with an odd degree, I either think about the basic line, y equals x, or if I'm familiar with the cubic function, I sometimes go with that. So an odd, if it's a basic line, a positive slope is going to be increasing, a negative slope is going to be decreasing. So I think about those 2 different types.